A woman wearing a blindfold walks in the rain while carrying an unconscious young man. She wonders how long she can fight on the blood-soaked battlefield she's found herself in. She wonders how long she can continue to tell lies while despairing about the bleak future that awaits her. She screams, unable to bear it all. 2B and her team are engaged in an aerial battle against hostile machine lifeforms somewhere and at some point. After 1B is killed in combat, she takes over as mission captain. She begins to thin out the enemy ranks, but a massive laser fires below her as she moves in to finish them off. A large machine lifeform appears and fires its laser at 2B. As a result, she requests permission to assume mobile configuration, which the operator grants. The flight unit of 2B quickly transforms into mobile armor. She then wields a massive beam sword, which she uses to dispatch the large machine quickly. With the enemy destroyed, the operator instructs 2B to meet with 9S on site and gather terrain intelligence. She will then carry out her original plan to locate and destroy the Goliath weapon hidden in the area. 2B accepts the orders and takes off for the nearby enemy headquarters. 2B brute infiltrates the enemy base, severely damaging her flight unit in the process. She abandons it and performs a superhero landing while covering herself up in order to keep YouTube from bonking my channel for inappropriate content again. After completing her mandatory hero's entrance, 2B draws her katana and prepares to fight a large group of hostile machines that have been waiting for her. Previously, a machine transported a bucket of oil and pours it on one of its fallen comrades. The robot is mocked by 9S, who is hacking and disabling the facility's security system. He then notices a lone flight unit in the sky and wonders why it is there by itself. The operator contacts 9S and informs him that the Yorha infiltration team is down to 1 unit. She then instructs him to go to the enemy headquarters and assist the attack squadron that has infiltrated it. With his orders in hand, 9S prepares to board his flight unit and begin his mission. Back in the present, 2B is engaged in combat with the enemy base. She quickly consumes the small fries, resulting in the mini-boss battle. With her superior sword skills, she gracefully dismantles the big boy. Of course, she doesn't forget to show off her cake in a flashy manner, ensuring that the weebs watching the anime get the service they came for. According to 2B's pod, all enemies have been destroyed, but 2B disagrees. The massive robotic arm then attacks her a few seconds later. 2B inquires as to whether it is the Goliath-class weapon they seek, but the pod responds that it is not. 2B instructs the pod to gather energy and enter full-power close-range marksmanship mode. She then commands it to fire a concentrated energy beam, incinerates the giant robot arm, and destroys it. The pod informs 2B that she will be unable to use the same attack for 13 hours and 34 minutes. Suddenly, the enemy reboots and resurrects. Fortunately, 9S arrives to finish off the enemy with a missile barrage from his flight unit. 9S introduces himself to 2B and says he's there to support her after telling her it's dangerous not to make sure the enemy is dead. The two then proceed to search the surrounding area for their intended target. 2B investigates the facility's interior while 9S patrols the perimeter due to his flight unit. During that time, 9S begins to discuss the facility's history as a human weapons factory. He believes the machines are now using it to create more machine lifeforms. Meanwhile, 2B discovers a group of machines with yellow eyes and wonders what they are. According to 9S, they are harmless, absent-minded machines that have been increasing in numbers recently. He then begins to ramble on about them further, but 2B cuts him off and asks if this story is critical to the mission. Because it isn't, 9S stops talking. They eventually find the core unit, but 9S finds it odd that the Goliath-class weapon isn't nearby. He wonders if the information they received from command was incorrect. While 2B is making her way to the core unit, it suddenly comes to life and moves outside. She tries to warn 9S, but their transmission is jammed. It doesn't take long for a swarm of enemy robots to appear and surround 9S. When 2B steps outside, the Goliath-class weapon they're looking for appears. It turns out that the giant robot that attacked 2B earlier was only one of its arms. She tells her pod to request backup, but it says it's impossible due to radio jamming. As the Goliath-class weapon attempts to attack her, 2B notices that it is still incomplete. She then decides to fight and defeat the massive machine on her own, armed with only a sword. 2B takes the initiative. She avoids the Goliath-class weapon's attack and runs up its arms to its head. When she jumps to try to remove its head, the machine tries to crush her in midair with its buzzsaw arms. Fortunately for 2B, 9S is on hand to save the game. 9S chastises 2B for her habit of brute forcing her way into everything. He proceeds to hack the machine, and while he manages to disable the Goliath-class weapon, he is knocked out of the sky. 2B rushes to where 9S is and discovers him severely injured. She asks her pod to give her items to repair him, but it says it's pointless. Although 2B insists on doing it anyway, 9S tells her to leave him behind and finish the mission. 2B departs after gaining command of his flight unit. 9S then discovers that laser communication is possible because the jamming signal is weakened. The young boy smiles and instructs his pod to take 2B's record data package. Meanwhile, the Goliath-class weapon recovers and fires a massive beam. 2B fights the massive machine by bonking it with its own arms, and the two then trade fire. 2B then abandons the flight unit and jumps down to stab the Goliath-class weapon with her sword, thinking it'll be a cooler way to end the fight. Despite taking out the enemy, 2B is blown away by the explosion and conveniently lands where 9S is. Then, 3 more Goliath-class weapons appear out of nowhere and surround them. Without any other options, 9S pulls out his black box and suggests they use it to take out the Goliath-class weapons. 2B agrees and pulls hers out as well. When the 2 black boxes collide, a massive explosion occurs. 2B awakens at the 13th orbiting satellite base known as the Bunker later. She immediately encounters 9S, who informs her that the mission was a success. At the very end, 2B thanks him for uploading their data to the bunker. 9S, on the other hand, claims he has no recollection of doing so. It turns out that 9S only had enough time to back up 2B's data. His memories only go back to before their first meeting. As 9S walks away, 2B clenches her fist in frustration. The Yorha androids scattered across the planet are watching a transmission about their current station and how they got there. It turns out that in 5012, aliens from outer space invaded Earth and annihilated human civilization with the machine lifeforms they used as weapons. The few humans who survive flee to the moon. By the year 5204, a rebellion operation employing androids is underway. Unfortunately, even after a dozen large-scale descent operations, they were still unable to deliver a decisive blow on the enemies, resulting in a stalemate. Yorha androids were created to break the stalemate. They are the ultimate combat weapons, and their mission is to bring glory to humanity. Following the transmission, the Yorha commander salutes, and the others follow suit. In the city ruins, a damaged robot reboots and stands up. It scans its surroundings and discovers a defeated android and an animal from afar. The robot begins to walk through the city, and other robots in the area begin to follow it. The robot eventually makes its way to a nearby factory and is repaired. They leave the scar on its face, however, because it adds to its charisma. The robot then proceeds to perform menial factory tasks. Later, the robot picks up a book on the floor and a bookmark with a flower image falls. Following that, the robot begins reading the book and enjoys learning from it. Learning begins to cause a change in the robot for unknown reasons. The robot does not attack the androids when it returns to the city ruins. Instead, it rushes to the flower that resembles the one on the bookmark. It digs the flower out of the ground, killing it. The incident causes a system error in the robot, causing it to develop an emotion matrix and its red eyes to turn yellow. From then on, the robot devotes its time to cultivating the flower. It looks after the seeds and protects them from birds and harsh weather. Then smaller robots around it begin to develop yellow eyes and refer to the robot as Big Brother. The yellow-eyed robots collaborate to cultivate the flowers. As a result, the flowers spread throughout the city over time. A group of resistance members is preparing to transport the few supplies they've scavenged in the city ruins. While some doubt the war can be won, others believe it will be over soon due to the Yorha's recent deployment. While the group is on its supply run, the Council of Humanity sends a message of hope to all the androids struggling on Earth. Lily, the group's leader, turns off the radio. Her colleague inquires as to why she refuses to listen to the message, and she responds that she already knows what they intend to say. The Council, according to Lily, basically wants them to fight until they die. Lily then considers herself. She believes the people on the moon are in good spirits. In reality, they don't even provide a single gun for them despite the fact that they have been fighting for centuries on the planet. Lily also claims that their adversaries, the machine lifeforms, have recently evolved. She then wonders how long they will be able to fight. Meanwhile, a horde of hostile machines is marching toward the flower field. The three small yellow-eyed robots call out to their big brother. 2B wakes up in the bunker after undergoing maintenance and hears 9S's voice, who is being a creep and watching her while she sleeps. Surprisingly, when she hears his voice, 2B relaxes. The two then proceed to meet with their commander. The commander asks 2B and 9S if they finished with their maintenance and advises them to avoid risky maneuvers like blowing their black boxes the next time. While she despises sending them on a mission so soon after their maintenance, the commander orders 2B and 9S to rendezvous with the Resistance and conduct some reconnaissance. When 9S learns of this, he questions why they are being sent when a different Yorha member has been assigned as the Resistance liaison. According to the commander, they lost contact with Yorha. She now wants them to conduct an on-site investigation, including the reason for losing contact with that Yorha. After leaving the commander, 9S wonders why the commander assigned a combat model like 2B for reconnaissance. He believes that scanner models like himself would suffice for the job. 2B tells him not to complain about his orders. Inside the command room, the commander wishes them luck. Back on Earth, hostile robots begin attacking the Resistance group. Lily orders everyone to retreat and abandon the resources. She orders them to quickly load the wounded onto the remaining trucks. The three small yellow-eyed robots nearby are destroyed along with their flower fields. Before the last of them shuts down, it summons its big brother one last time. Elsewhere in the city ruins, the big brother robot notices smoke rising in the distance. The hostile group of robots continues to attack the Resistance group. Lily is irritated after discovering that their minefield trap is ineffective against the enemy. Out of options, one of them asks if they can seek assistance from the Council of Humanity. Lily quickly dismisses that notion, claiming that the Council will never send assistance. Instead, she tells them about her plan to lure the machines out to the valley and drop the bridge while they cross. They follow her orders and place explosives on the bridge. As they wait for the hostile robots to cross the bridge, one of Lily's men points out a strange robot that appears to be blocking the path of the hostile ones. It's Big Brother, and it's heartbreaking to see his flower fields being destroyed. When a swarm of hostile robots cross the bridge, Lily orders his men to detonate the explosives. Unfortunately, for some reason, it will not explode. A volley of missiles hits the horde of robots as Lily tries to make her last stand. The machines, including Big Brother, are blown up. In its final moments, Big Brother notices a flower growing on the cliff. Its yellow eyes briefly turn green before shutting down, and its body falls into the chasm below. The flight units of 2B and 9S arrive. They appear to have launched the earlier missile barrage. Lily is taken aback when she sees 2B. A surviving robot attacks Lily, while the rest of the Resistance is in awe of the Yorhas who saved them. While she avoids the attack, she is injured by debris on the ground. The robot is destroyed by the Yorha's pods, and Lily's wounds are treated by the Resistance maintenance units. The rest of the Resistance survivors then fangirl at 2B and 9S. They identify them as Yorha soldiers due to their black uniforms and blindfolds. They now believe that their requests have been met by the Council of Humanity. 9S looks at 2B to see if this is correct. She shakes her head, indicating that she knows nothing about it. Meanwhile, Lily is taken aback by the Council of Humanity's decision to send reinforcements to them. Lily directs that everyone return to their camp. She informs 2B and 9S that they will talk once they arrive. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up and don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more fantastic anime recaps like this. See y'all in the next video.